Hi there, Wasted Potential 616 back again. Haven't been too well recently, or I'm sure you guys don't really care about that, but my mum very kindly bought some of my comics from my slot while I was feeling rough, so that was nice of her. Thanks a lot, Mum. I really don't deserve a mum like you, I really don't. You're top notch. Anyway, just want to thank her for that. Yeah, let's talk about Blackest Night, issue 2. Here we go. Alright, finally here. Okay, second part of the story. Go straight into where we left off. This is, once again, another good issue. Jeff Johns doing a great job. Just want to say he really knows his characters, and he knows how to write his characters. There's brilliant dialogue between all the characters. You know, he knows who they are, if that makes any sense. You know, from the opening where the Atoms, you know, talking about his wife, you know, how upset he is and stuff, to Commissioner Gordon talking to his daughter Barbara about how sort of basically how afraid he is, you know. Really good stuff. That said, well, there's great characterization and good conversations going on. Boy, there's plenty of action in this as well. So I mean, the Flash and Green Lantern fighting a zombie Martian Manhunter, that carries on, and let's just say there's going to be a few spoilers in this. I'll warn this now. Warn you now. Their fight's brilliant. You know, they defeat, or they think they defeat him in a sort of really good way. You know, they use teamwork. The Flash sort of gets some chemicals together with his super speed. He also is moving too fast. Oh dear. So the Martian Manhunter can't read his mind. Then Hal Jordan sort of throws a car mixed with all the gases, big explosion. Is that enough to stop the Martian Manhunter? Well, we'll see. No. Anyway, also, sort of, let's just call them the Aquaman family. Tempest and Aquaman's wife Mera, they confront the zombie Aquaman, and that's quite good. And there's some extended Aquaman characters, so I'm not actually that familiar with. I've never really followed Aquaman, but a lot's quite revealed in their dialogue about sort of past relationships and stuff, which I didn't know about, because as I said, I've never really followed them, but it was all pretty self-explanatory, even as a sort of comic fan that's not really aware of the history of Aquaman. It was all kind of explained, and it did add to the battle, you know, sort of ex-girlfriends and past relationships, and it wasn't confusing, you know, it explains itself quite well. Also, the Shadow Pact make an appearance, and whoa, what did I do there? They make, oh, it's a ghost. No, sorry. So Shadow Pact make an appearance, and you know, the Spectre is now involved, and he's kind of being zombified. There's a brilliant splash page of the Spectre zombified here. You know, can't really see it very well, but you get the idea. Brilliant stuff. I mean, the artist, Ivan Reis, is it? Ivan Reis. You know, he's brilliant. The action scenes, the splash pages are just great. You know, he's a really good writer, artist, excuse me. Right, I'm sort of this review's kind of all over the place, but yeah, this is good. It's sort of been quite straightforward, this issue. You know, just characters dealing with the various resurrections. and battles ensuing, and that's entertaining, but that has been it so far. You know, I wouldn't say the story's progressed that much, even though it's been entertaining, but that sort of makes you just look forward to issue 3 even more. I mean, when I've read this a couple of times, and when I first read it, I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but after I read it, I was like, oh, I kind of want more, and that's a good thing. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, it's a bad thing, it's a good thing, but yeah, it leaves you wanting more. It really does. And I want to see that, you know, you want to see the story develop more. But it was entertaining, and yeah, it's an overall very good issue. And it's getting us, it's created a sense of how are they going to overcome this, because you know, so many characters have been resurrected. These you know, these villains seem almost invincible, and you know, you get that feeling in a lot of crossovers and big stories. But this is done well. You know, you get that. Oh God, how are they going to do it? You know, how are they going to do this? So it'll be interesting to see how they do. And it sort of ends with a zombie JLA. With John Jones, I always get this guy's name confused. Elastic Man, Elongated Man, and the two Hawk, you know, Hawkman, and Firestorm, and they're going to square off against, you know, Barry Allen and Hal Jordan, so that should be interesting. Hopefully, you know, the Flash and Green Lantern will get some backup. One thing I have noticed about this, there's a checklist page of all the sort of tie-ins, and you know, it's going to be difficult to get all of them. I've said in the past I'm not. Sometimes I give in and I get some. I mean, to get the full story, if you're one of those collectors that wants it, you're going to have to get a lot of issues. You know, there's obviously Green Lantern Corps, cool, but you know, there's a Blackest Night Batman, Blackest Night Superman, and Blackest Night Titans. I suppose thinking about it, that's not actually as much as some crossovers. So actually, that's not that bad. Anyway, I'll probably definitely pick up the Batman one, because yeah, I love Batman. Anyway, I think I'll leave it at that. It was a bit all over the place, this review, but overall, it was a lot of fun. It was good. It leaves you wanting more, but as a second issue to a, you know, mini-series, I think that's a positive thing. I think that's a good thing. So yeah, there we go. Also, if you have been watching my videos, you know, feel free to rate them and leave some comments. It'd be great, positive or negative. You know, I could do with some constructive criticism. You know, not many people have watched these videos, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. So hey, tell me, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, cool. Anyway, I've got some more comics, so I'll probably do some reviews later, but I wanted to concentrate on this one because big event, lots of fun. Yeah, if you're not picking up this series yet, please do, because I think there's going to be a lot of ramifications in the DC universe. Okay, there we go. Look after yourselves.